exercise really hard for 2 days a week and that's it. I'm trying to change people's mind to do less but more frequently. So doing it every day, basically, folks. We're really supposed to exercise every day, and that's just the way it is in life, unfortunately. But I'm here to show you that it is actually a fun thing to do, and once you get in a good habit, which I'm here to teach you, that you'll be more willing to do it and see it for what it is, which is the best part of your day, folks. Whether you're walking your dog, going to the gym, riding your bike, commuting to your job, like, I can't stress to you folks, when I used to work in an office, the best part of my day used to be riding to and from my office on my bicycle. It's just the way it goes, folks. Might be hesitant at it, or like we always do, we procrastinate. Even in jazz, good to see you. But what you'll find is that it really is the best thing that you'll do in your day. It's just something that we've become accustomed to think of a chore or a burden instead of just something that we have to do every day. Sally Star jumped in the house, good to see you. Two people that I have known and lived with who know the benefits of this, which is exactly why they're here. We'll keep it short and sweet like always, folks. And look, what can we see here? Can we see any weirdness on my hat? No, we can't. For the first time in, well, 2 full years. When did we start, Jazz? 2020, 21, 2022. 3 years now. I've figured out how to get rid of that weirdness on the top of my hat. Folks, new week, like I said, we can go from the gutter to the stars, from playing with the chroma key settings on my Blackmagic Mini R10 Mini HDMI switcher. And look, I've even figured out how to keep the camera. As a result, I've got more space now because the camera's not looking down at me so much. So I can either come here closer or stand a little bit back to have the banner underneath for recording videos. And yes, it was, of course. So basically I used to have a very powerful, what are they called? I can't even remember, like a compact fluorescent CFL, which was perhaps used to grow various plants in the past, including when living with you, young jazzercise. And I switched it to 2 LED panels, which are further or closer towards me here, that shine on the green screen directly, so it doesn't have that lens flare that the big bulb creates. So I'm really happy with that. And also, as you can see, or maybe, yeah, if I turn to the light, you'll be able to see it. I've got a new lanyard mic, a new Rode lanyard mic, and I'm not sure if you can tell from the devices that you're listening on, but I can certainly tell after I've been recording the content for startbuilding.me, it sounds infinitely better. Before, everything was jamming up into the compressor, into the limiter. And yeah, exactly. Now it's actually, you can't do that anymore because it means white power, apparently. See, W and P, white power. Anyway, you can't win anymore. Anything you do is gonna get you in trouble. So maybe thumbs up. So anyway, let's get going, folks. 50 and 50 is what I'm aiming to do today. I've just done a 50-kilometer ride with 1,000 meters of gain and swift, so I'm feeling a little bit knackered, and I walked my dogs, I walked the neighbors' dogs, watched some football, watched Arsenal beat Tottenham, very, very good, watched Chelsea win as well, Crystal Palace 1-0. So, as you can see, I'm also getting really lean, which from my rebuild series, I've reduced my protein, but I can still smell ammonia on my breath, which is why diet and exercise is so important. In the end, I can be like, ammonia, too much protein, too much exercise, dial back the protein. Like, you can beat things before they become a problem. So when I got my blood tests on Friday, I realized that the urea was high, as that's why I would be smelling this ammonia in my breath. And my liver was pretty hammered because, as you guys know me, I'm a terrible man flu candidate. When I get the man flu, I'm in bed. I'm like Stan Marsh in South Park in the wheelchair with a blanket over me, shaving my head. you know, talking about the disease that I have, and I'm quite happy with that. So I pop paracetamol and cold and flu tablets, and like it was like that Darjeeling Limited train scene where I'm just like drinking elixirs and having pills every 4 hours so I could get through the day. That took its toll on my liver. It's a disease, Sharon. That's totally what I was like. I did still manage to walk the dogs, but as a result of almost killing my liver. Anyway, my ALT, which is that figure, that blood order attribute, you can see was from normally a cutoff at 45, I was on 54. As always, folks, never panic and freak out from one blood test. If you ever get one, as they always say, they have to retest it or take it at a different type of day or whatever it is. You know, it's it changes from not only a day to day, but hour to hour basis. Anyway, I'm just still looking at myself, very proud with how I've set up my studio now. So let's get going, folks. What is it called? Exercise. Specifically, a squat. Still haven't done my videos for these. I'm still doing the introduction session, and since I wasn't happy with the green screen and the mic, I'm redoing them all now. The one I'm going to redo today is why I am doing Start Building Me. And I'll record it. I won't hassle you with it now. Let's get some squats out of the way. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get your heart rate up, get yourself breathing. Sally star jump if your knee's swelling up still, then you can get the hell out of here. Seriously, if you're still feeling some tightness or swelling, make sure you're always keeping your knee up when you're not using it. And I know you're going to be using it a lot with the chublet, unfortunately for you, but fortunately there are many ways that you can deal with it. And rest, ice, compression, elevation being the most important ones. I really think you should get into the compression game. Yes, it's a crutch, but you need it when you've got swelling. I am not one that's quick to tape. Tape is like the last resort for me, but sleeves and braces I find only when you're doing the exercise are great, and then, you know, when you're around the office or around at home, do not bother with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Supporting your body weight under gravity, folks. This is the aim of the game. There are variations which I will get into in my demonstration videos, which are not quite there yet. As I said, I think the introduction series about why to do this, how to form habits, the importance of repetition, all these videos that I'm doing are important, and I was distracted by the quality of the production, not necessarily the delivery, and the delivery straight out sucks. So I'm going back, and I thought it was quite clever for the repetition video. I show people basically me recording the video and show how you improve it by repeating the video in the message until you get it right. It's like everything in life, folks. It's like, it's so funny to me that people, it's like, why are we efficient at brushing our teeth or sleeping or eating food and making food? It's because we do it every day. And it's like, does anybody seriously like, oh, I've got to brush my teeth, or oh, I've got to get a glass of water to drink, or I've got to make something for dinner, or go to bed even? Like, people don't, right? It's just something that hasn't been ingrained into it. I know, you know, preaching to the choir for Sal, but also preaching to the choir with Jazz, because I can remember so many times where we were living on Newton Street in Erskineville, and we would just be sitting out there, you know, kind of, dare I say, inebriated, and you'd be like, do you want to get the bag and walk around the park? And you just like, you would initiate it, you know? We'd get this 60-kilo sandbag and be walking around up to the park and offloading it back to back on each other. It was really hard work, but it was very satisfying. Yeah, it's been try elevate, cool, might wear compressions when walking tomorrow, try it on. Have you got, like, I've got skins, get some proper full length compression stockings, and you know they stretch and wear out after a while. Get a new set, or I'll get you some when you're up here. It really makes a difference to force. Even when I was in hospital in 2013, when my lymphatic system was all messed up, when I pulled the skins, funnily enough, Dave Goldstein still has that exact same skin set that he's wearing now in 10 years later. So, exactly. The slant bag is the greatest of all time. 100% agree. And I can't find the same one again. All the other ones are like 20 or 30 kilos. And it's like, bah, what's the point of this? Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. E basta. And what they did is they basically forced all that lymphatic fluid back into place and reduced the swelling that I'd had. So very, very cool things to have. Compression, the full kit and caboodle, the top, full length top, and the bottoms. It's like Spanx for men. But yeah, as in they stopped my knee swelling up and everything. Haven't got any those beige sleeves I've got. Yes, I remember that bag too, for sure. I know at some stage Jesus was like, hey bro, can I have that bag? And I was just like, I don't know what happened to it, you know? It sort of went AWOL at some stage, or took it to the tip or something, I think, when moving around. But it seems to be one of a kind. As like I said, the 20 or 30 kilo ones, it's like, what's the point, you know? Just go up and get a bag of fertilizer and it's the same thing. Finding a bag of 60 kilos or something is not that straightforward. Mate, no disappearing hat, folks. Life begins without disappearing hat. Oh, there you go. Yeah, well, I mean, look, it was, we worked it to death, quite literally, you know? It was, and also, I mean, to be fair, Jazz, remember sometimes we would just like have it over our shoulders and just offload it onto the ground, and then the other person had to sort of get up, get their arms through it and stand up and sort of hoik it over their shoulder, undoubtedly totally destroying our backs in the process, but nonetheless it was a good exercise. So I think, you know, there's only a certain amount of ways that it could have held before totally splitting, as it obviously did. Oh well. So maybe that's why Matt called me and was like, oh, where can I get a new one? Like I care. Like always, all my stuff comes from like Iron Mind. It would have been probably Iron Mind that I got it from. That's where like my neck harness and my jaw harness and everything came from when I was boxing. Yeah, exactly. See, it's those things are meant to be broken. That's the whole point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anyways, hope you guys had a good weekend. Missed out on some Counter-Strike, but I think we'll get into that at some stage this week. I've been doing some good content, mainly sitting there and writing the content that I'm going to be writing. And then I have put up a few videos and then I redo them and put them up again. And just trying to figure out the format. And then whilst doing the rebuilds, I was like, man, I hope people don't actually do what I'm doing without having any experience to it. It would be quite dangerous. Well, not really, but I'm sure I could still get sued, so I put up a disclaimer. The bot's back up, as you can see. The bot's shilling and spamming all kinds of messages. That's why you're up on a leaderboard now, Sally Star Jump. So that will be cool. It's getting our data ticking over, which will be what the app is all based on, so that's cool. I'm trying to see what I can work on next on the production. I'm working on my video editing in Premiere Pro, and just playing around with like transitions and zoom ins. Unfortunately, the next thing, like to get a good zoom in, you need a better quality lens than the GoPro, because this is like a really wide angle lens. So I'll probably get a new DSLR, I think, in the end. But then my switcher is limited to 1080p, and I would want it to be 4K, so just snowballs on to a million other things. Anyway, hopefully can get a good result and get a whole bunch of hardware back if you catch my drift. That would be kind, because like I got, like I said, a lot of hardware. It's currently stored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, switching it up, do some push-ups. Get out of the way of this camera. Get out of the way. That camera is on, so I'm not going to screw that up. Go to my switcher, camera 2, to the crutch cam. And as you can see, the floor is already there. Fantastic. Do push-ups off your knees if you cannot do push-ups. Sorry, speaking to the wrong camera again. Do push-ups off your knees if you cannot do strict push-ups. Because, folks, we're just trying to pump blood through our body. We're not trying to win a push-up competition. We're not trying to impress, you know, Chad Bigham, the local jock at your high school. So if you want to do a push-up like this, still pushing the blood around the upper body, which is the whole purpose of the exercise. Or if you can't even do that, and you can't even press your body up off the ground, you can walk your hand over, do it from the side, sort of like that at a right angle, or maybe it's, there you go, more at a right angle, and just lean your body out over your hands, put a bit of pressure on your shoulders, lean back, oh, hear that crack, lean forward, relax my mouth. What my mother used to always say growing up, David, relax your mouth. I was like a chimp in distress, like, I can't relax. But I'm working on it, folks. Ni hao ma. Anyway, I want to get 50 out, so I'm going to do 50 strict push-ups, watch the introduction videos, and watch the how-to videos that don't exist yet, but they will exist, and we'll show you how to do push-ups, and I'll just refer people to them on I don't know, maybe a link that I'll put on the back of the screen. Give them a search term to put into Start Building Me's YouTube, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And back into kangaroo mode. What are we at? 18 minutes. I reckon we can almost get out of here, probably 22 minutes. Not bad. Air conditioner on, then I've got to do rebuild day 7. Usually do day 8 in the morning. I usually do my days in the morning, but I ran out of time this morning. The Last of Us TV episode 1 is out. What was this again? Oh, no way. Done and done. I know what I'm doing tonight after these videos. Thank you, sir. A video game. Episode 1? Oh, right, because they have episodes of video games now. So they can charge you millions of dollars by the time you get all the episodes. Hey, as Jazzercise understands, Start Building Me is all about shilling different things that might be important to the mental health space as well as the diet and exercise space. And for me, in my current environment of solitude, the odd video game, I was very, very pleased playing Cyberpunk 2077. I thought that was an awesome game, to the point where I might go back and play it as a corpo, like the corporate element, and where I belong in the corporate scumbag world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I didn't go climbing today, I'll go climbing tomorrow. My hands have healed, but I've healed a little bit too much, so nice and soft with weird, callousy, dainty analyst hands, so I hope I don't wreck them up too bad. But I love that place too much, so I've got to do it. Last of Us, that's cool. TV. Ah, gotcha. Sweet, even better. Because I'm in quite the slothly mood today. Like, there was a bit of a battle for the bed last night. You can always see it on my rebuilds what my resting heart rate is, and it was 49 up from like 47 or something. Because young Keith always likes, it's not enough for for Keith to win, but it's also for Dale to lose. So if Dale's sort of somewhere on the bed, Keith has to be closer to me than where Dale is, even if that's like pressed up against my face on my pillow. And you just you wake up in the middle of the night, and as Kim, I'm not sure if Kim's here, but as she'll know, like he jostles himself into position, so his head is like the eye in Jurassic Park. His eyeball is just like staring at your eye. So yeah, that was last night. 1, 2, 3, touch your butt. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am considering for my rebuild taking off a few. Oh, I'm not going to exactly fast break from puppy watch. Yeah, well, I'll have puppies soon, seemingly. A litter of Weebo's pups that are going to be under the care of Mother Goose Gordon. The Homer Simpson one, Father Goose, that's awesome. She didn't have the litter yet, did she? Sweet. I'm hoping that I might still have them here when Sal and Phoebe come up in March, early March. Oh. Not from the dryer, or... I was like, you told me that already, but people know they have to tell me things several times. It's depending on how much brain damage I've had in the last 24 hours from said conversation. Labor drops temperature, body goes into shock. All right, I'm just thinking the human way of shock from loss of blood, and I was like, what the hell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. I can't remember what movie it was in, or a TV show where the guy gets shot. And he's like, I thought I was supposed to go into shock, but I'm still it still hurts so much. It's not really funny, but it kind of is. I wonder what it is. I'm going to have to Google it. All right. 24 minutes. I'm going to bust another 10. I can't remember if that was 40 or 50. I don't really care. My shoulders are sore. I've got to record these videos. Game night. The movie? I don't know. Maybe. It doesn't seem familiar. I was like, game night. I've already watched Arsenal versus Tottenham, which I highly recommend. Arsenal versus Tottenham is good games. Okay. And I'm going to have to Google game night. And what else did I watch? Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Also a decent game to watch. 10 more. Get out of here. I'm going to do my rebuild videos. Have a good night, folks. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Money in the bank, folks. Take it easy. Have a good night.